Hey guys, welcome back to my sewing room. I'm Kelly and you found me here on Pick and Stitches, and today we're going to be working on this pie safe pattern from Fat Quarter Shop Sew Sampler. I can't wait to jump into this one with you all. All right guys, I know I asked for a vote on my last video to see if we were going to do pie safe or if we were going to do the layer cake latte, and I'm still really excited to try the layer cake latte. However, when I looked at the pattern, I think for a lap quilt, it called for 72 squares of white and 72 squares of different colors. And then you're going to make those into 44 half square triangles and trim them up again. And whenever I need to have 144 of half square triangles, I almost always am going to reach for my triangles on a roll. Now, if I'm working out of my scrap bin, that's one thing. I don't have enough yardage there. But if I'm going to make 144 half square triangles, I'm probably going to buy something that will fit the width of that roll, and I will make triangles on a roll for all of those. So with that in mind, I did decide to go ahead and do the pie safe. So let's jump right on in. Okay, so I have all my pieces cut out. This is going to be for my first block. And so I'm going to start off with my paper. I am going to use this at 1/4 plus because I like the way it creases for me. And what I'm going to do is just add a crease all the way around on all of these lines so that I can see it from both sides. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of glue. Now remember, we're going to be sewing on this side, so I'm going to put it on the other side. And I'm going to grab my big square, my piece H, and I'm going to place that right side up, centered on where that shape is outlined. So I want to have 1/4 inch all the way around. And I like to give that a good press. And then we will flip that over and we will trim all 4 of my sides back. Now I am living on the edge this week. I did decide not to starch any of my fabrics. So if you see me moving a little slow or being a little bit more careful than usual, it's because my fabric is not as stiff as I typically have it. And I can already feel it as I went to slide my at 1/4 this way, it folded my fabric. So I definitely have learned to be less gentle, probably because my fabric is always so heavily starched. But I thought this was a great smaller project to kind of go back to my roots, skip a step of having to do that extra starching. Okay, so now this is ready to go. The next thing we're going to do is take our piece A's, which we cut into that triangle shape, and we're going to do opposite corners. So you can do 2 and 3 or 4 and 5. It doesn't matter. We're just going to do 2 corners and then we're going to press. You can see I have switched out to, this is a 6mm foot, and I'm going to line up with my right sides together. One set. Now, this is the true test, you guys, because I think it's going to be hard to keep that fabric as still since it's not pressed as much. I am going to drop my stitch length and start from off the edge and sew all the way to the other side. Okay, it didn't shift on me, so I'm still looking fine there. I'm going to do this other side. And I'm just kind of centering this so that I have about the same amount hanging off on both sides. You do have a little bit of wiggle room most of the time in the way that these are cut, so you shouldn't be too tight. Now I am going to use my roller here instead of going over to the ironing board. You would do a dry iron anyways, so I feel like I'm going to get a fairly good press here. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to have to head over there and trim it up anyway, so let's go press it. So I'll go ahead and give this a quick press. And since I'm over here, I'll do this side as well. I am going to do my darndest not to use steam, although sometimes it is a bit of a force of habit to push that button. Okay, so now we will pull our paper up. And if you're new to foundation paper piecing, I've done a lot of tutorials with this paper. I really enjoy it. I think it makes for a very nice finished product. Okay. I think I dropped my stitch length enough on that, guys. Okay, so I'm going to fold that back and then just trim off these extra corners. Same thing on the other side over here. And I'm just pulling it back because I did sew past that line a little bit. And sometimes like that side pulled perfect. And I don't know, I must be pulling at a funky angle, trying really hard not to stretch my fabric. Okay. So now we'll head back to the machine and sew our final 2 pieces onto this square. Okay, so now we can just press these last 2 and then our block will be ready to trim up. Now, if you don't have the exact right size square, you can always use any of your rulers, but it sure is nice if you have the size that you need. So now we're just going to line up our 5-inch ruler with the lines on our square and trim all 4 sides, and this medium middle part of our block is done. And this is the Sew Daily rotating mat. You definitely do not have to have it, but as you can see, it does make placing the ruler, and if you're going to trim up on all 4 sides, really easy. So then once you have that part completed, you're just going to fold back your paper and tear off each piece. Now, the next thing we're going to do is kind of build a border all the way around. So we're going to take our pieces of F and our pieces of C. So let's grab our board. So our pieces of F, I did end up using for my background fabric on this block. I had some 2-inch strips. I feel like this is from the June Sew Sampler last year that I didn't actually use in my quilt because they were part of that jelly roll. And I think they'll be perfect to build out our block. So we're going to, yeah, you can still see I didn't cut all the pinking off. So we're going to build out our all the way across and our piece C's. So I'm going to build these 3 together and 3 together. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to add my outside edges here. So basically I've got my 9 patch and I'm going to sew this 3, and then this 3. Okay, so the beauty of kind of sewing it like that is your pieces are already in order. It kind of helps me keep my brain together. So on this middle section, I am going to press towards the outside. Even though that's the light side, I want to press away from all those corners. And then for my 2 top and bottom, I'm going to press towards the white as well so that these seams will all nest and I won't have to pin as much. So if you really wanted to, you could actually press all of these the other way. There's not so many seams in that square and a square block that you couldn't just do that. And then you'd be pressing away from your lighter fabric. But, oops, steam. Okay. So now we're going to connect this into our 9 patch. So I'm just going to flip the sides up. The seams will nest. We'll head over to the machine. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and press this. I'm just going to press towards the outside. And we are almost done. Now our next couple of pieces, we're going to add on in a similar fashion. We're going to start with our big piece D's. We're going to put those in all 4 corners. And then we're going to put piece E's. Let's get us a bigger block. Oh, all right. So we're going to put these in all four corners. They're going to be a little bit wider. And then next to that, on each corner, we're going to put one of our smaller pieces of that same color so that our blocks are going to look more like that. And then we're going to come back in the middle. You guys, I do not like this unstarched fabric. It's making me crazy. Okay. So then we'll come back with those in the middle here. Okay, so right now we're going to leave off the top and the bottom row. We're just going to work on these two side rows. So I'm going to piece those three and these three and then iron them, and then we'll attach them to this middle section. I don't know if I've said this lately, but I really enjoy all of the patterns that come from, I guess it's So Emma patterns. I don't know. The fat quarter shop patterns are always really good at being visually. There's enough pictures in every pattern that you almost don't have to read the instructions. You can just look at the pictures. It's like building something from IKEA. You don't even know what language it's written in because you don't read the words. Okay, and since I'm working on nesting my seams, I'm going to look back at this and realize that I pressed away from the center here. So on this guy, I'm going to press towards the center so that those seams will nest. So pressing towards the center on both sides here. You guys, I can't do this. No steam and no starch is making me nuts. I'm going to stop complaining about it. I'm a big girl. I made the decision to try it again. I used to really like the simplicity. I would pull my fabric right off the bolt and just start ironing and sewing it, but I'm remembering why. Okay. So we'll head back over to our big block. I'm just going to add it to one to each side, and then we'll come back and make our top and our bottom strip. In fact, let's go ahead and just build that row out now. I'm going to press my middle section first. So I'm going to press that away from the center. And away from the center. Okay, so looking back at my center block, this is the only point at which it's going to nest. So here my center is pressed to the middle. So I want to press these towards the outside. And I'm sure if you read the instructions, they probably all say to press open. No, actually they don't. Huh. Well, you know, I needed to stretch my brain and think about things and not just go with the flow today, right? Okay, so now I've got my top and my bottom row finished. We're going to nest these two seams and these two seams, and we'll head back over to the machine. Okay, let's set that up under the clapper for a minute, and then I'll get it on the design board for you. I think this turned out really cute, you guys. It came together really fast. The square to square paper made it super simple. You know me, I love foundation paper piecing. It kind of takes the thought process out of it. And I know I said it a ton in my video. It really was driving me gonzo that I have not starched this fabric. So, lesson learned, I prefer starch fabric. That doesn't work for everybody, but it makes me a happier person. And when I'm in the sewing room, I'm supposed to be in my happy place. So I'm going to take note of that and do a little bit more extra work on the front end and not try to skip steps. But it's been several years since I've tried that. So I think it was an experiment that was worth doing. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. And until then, I will see you next time.